اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. I am Rashida Abubakar, your host on the program As You Answer the Call. Glad to be with you once again. Workshops for ICT officials from State Programs Welfare Boards, the FCT, the Armed Forces, as well as licensed store operators is underway in Abuja. It is being held under the auspices of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, as part of preparations for visa processing for intended pilgrims performing the 2025 Hajj. The idea is to ensure effective utilization of the Saudi-based Nusuk Masar platform known as the e-track. This will enable them to fully understand the process of registering pilgrims on the platform, focusing particularly on ways of assessing the various services offered through the Nusuk Masar. Tonight on the program, we shall take you through the various components of the training program and how it will impact on participants. Also in the package, we have other regular segments such as Making the Hajj and NAHCON News Diary, which highlights the activities of NAHCON and other stakeholders in the Hajj industry. Stay coming your way is the announcement of the quiz winner. Stay with us.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program begins with the News Diary. Stay tuned.
The chairman of the Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Malam Salihu Abubakar, has enlisted the support of aviation-related agencies to ensure the smooth coordination of the forthcoming Hajj operation from the state. The chairman sought the support when he separately met with the management of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency at the Hassan Usman Katsina International Airport, Kaduna. This was on Wednesday this week. Malam Salihu appreciated the contributions of the agencies in previous Hajj exercises and solicited for more during the 2025 Hajj. He said the State Pilgrims Welfare Agency will comply with the rules and regulations associated with international travels. In their separate remarks, heads of the agencies pledged their support for the Hajj exercise, saying they will keep the Pilgrims Welfare Agency informed of any developments for proper coordination. At the end of the visit, Malam Salihu Abubakar explained more.
All stakeholders, we try to make sure that we visit them, we discuss with them so as to facilitate for a very, very easy and smooth operation of the airlift of our pilgrims.
In a related development, Jigawa State Pilgrims Welfare Board and the State Command of the Nigerian Immigration Services are working out plans to enhance the process of obtaining passports for intending pilgrims. Director General of the Jigawa State Pilgrims Board, Ahmed Umar Labu, stated this when he played host to officials of the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS) in Dutse, the Jigawa State capital. The DG further highlighted the importance of collaboration between the board and the NIS in order to address emergencies that may arise in the course of the Hajj exercise. In his remarks, the state NIS Comptroller, Tahir Abdullahi, said the agency will deploy the necessary resources to respond to the needs of the pilgrims. He appreciated the Pilgrims Board. In other news, the Federal Capital Territory Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board is to commence the distribution of travel items to its intending pilgrims. A statement to this effect by the board public relations officer, Muhammad Lawal, says the distribution of the items will take place on Saturday, the 22nd, and Sunday, the 23rd of this month at the FCT Hajj camp in Jiwa. The items to be distributed include pilgrims' uniforms, books on Hajj rites, among others. The statement further says the early distribution of the items, particularly the books, is to enable intending pilgrims prepare spiritually. While calling on intending pilgrims that are yet to submit their e-passport and other documents to do so immediately, the spokesperson said activities for the intending pilgrims will be suspended during Ramadan, but will resume after.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching As You Answer the Call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, and other Hajj-related matters. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has put in place a workshop on Nusuk Masar platform for ICT officials from State Pilgrims Welfare Boards, the FCT, the Armed Forces, and tour operators. In our next segment, Spotlight, we shall take you through the various components of the training program and also talk about the expected outcomes. Keep watching.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
The size of that passport photograph you are scanning, and make sure please that size of that passport photograph should have white background.
This training session was organized by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON. It focused on the Saudi Nusuk Masar or e-track system. Participants at the training exercise, which took place at the conference hall of the Hajj House, are directors of operations and ICT personnel from State Pilgrims Welfare Boards, the FCT, the Armed Forces, and tour operators. Resource persons were drawn from NAHCON 2025 Hajj Nusuk Masar Committee, whose members were themselves trained in Saudi Arabia on the operations of the platform. The Nusuk Masar serves as a comprehensive platform introduced by the Saudi authorities to aid authorized service providers to offer services during Hajj and Umrah exercises. At the sessions with states, the FCT and Armed Forces, which took place on Tuesday, the 18th of February 2025, resource persons took the participants through different subjects associated with the Nusuk Masar platform. These include overview of the new Nusuk Masar portal, system of pilgrims grouping, tagging and medical records, activation of account users in Nusuk, pilgrims registration on NAHCON e-resources portal, and pilgrims release.
The Masar Nusuk has some features. I said it's web-based. Why I said web-based is that means the way the system works right now, it's more effective if you are using a system. Honestly speaking, some features will not be visible to you if you are using your mobile phone. So you might find it easy to do some certain maybe operations with it on mobile phone. But when you start doing things like grouping and tagging, those are the times that you might actually need to shift your system.
That Nusuk card contains all the information the pilgrims of that pilgrim, his data, the hotel he will be in Medina, the hotel he will be in Mecca, and his camp in the Mashair. So, that pilgrim is supposed to, before leaving Nigeria, to know his accommodation in Medina, to know his accommodation in Mecca. In Mecca, it is easy because you when you go to a particular accommodation, you are there throughout.
Once there is error in the printing, as we normally experience this thing every year, if you have a passport that has an error here, that all these places are not captured very well, definitely the computer will reject it automatically. So when you collect the passport of a pilgrim, make sure that you study the passport very well, and then before you accept. Next slide, please. So we have two ways of doing the data capture. You either use the traditional 3M passport reader that we have, If you don't worry, go to the next slide. Then you can now scan the regular passport using the traditional way that we used to do. You get a scanner, you scan your passport, you resize it, you crop it, you trim it, so that the system will accept the passport.
For the pilgrims, not only for the pilgrims, even for the Hajj managers, the GPS encompasses all the locations of the pilgrims in their accommodation in Mecca, in Medina, and all the holy sites for easy navigation of these pilgrims, and for also to render help in case they get lost.
Other topics presented at the training sessions include pilgrims' tafweej and booking for Rauda, visa issuance and deadline, registration of pilgrims on Hajj saving scheme, as well as compliance with visa issuance in line with state remittance.
So tafweej is an Arabic word literally translated as grouping, but used by Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah to mean processing the movement of groups, particularly at Mashair, to ensure pilgrim safety and to protect loss of life. So as we all know, that pilgrims are not allowed to move anyhow on their own. We are expected to be processed and coordinated by rules and regulations. That is from here, from when they arrive. That is why when they arrive to the airport, we have people that are processing them. They go to the accommodation, all these stages. So pilgrims are not supposed to be on their own. They are supposed to be guided.
Visa issuance is going to commence on 19 February, and it's going to last for 2 months. Within these 2 months, you are expected to continue with the contracting aspects of accommodation, feeding, transportation, and what have you. Then the tent you have, you use it, because without having where to live at Mashairi, you can continue with the contracting aspects. Al-Hajj Arafat, you don't have a place at Arafat, you don't have a place at Mina. So why will you be allowed to continue contracting accommodation and feeding and also transportation? You have to get tent at Mashair before you continue with contracting activities.
By the time we are all of us 100% on Hajj saving scheme, honestly, you will agree with me that all this that they are saying, that even Mashair, we can even prepare on how we are going to do our grouping. So it is on that basis that I present to you my few slides on the registration of pilgrim on Hajj saving scheme.
The presentations generated questions, comments, and observations from participants.
I think it is necessary. The information you are displaying here should be transmitted to us so that we can have it in our own, because we cannot put everything in our brain.
At the end of the session with states and the FCT, participants said the training could not have come at a better time, pointing out that it has direct bearing on Hajj administration.
The training is really fast-tracking the way and manner in which we are going to improve our services to the intending pilgrims. The Nusuk is about the entire service provision to ensure effective and efficient service delivery to the pilgrims in line with the guidelines as provided by the National Hajj Commission. In fact, the training is commendable.
Most of the operation now has been digitalized. It has reduced less manual work, and I think that's going to go a long way to help us in uploading the pilgrims' data and then working on the e-track portal as well.
We are very happy with this new introduction of Nusuk Masar platform, and we will try our possible best to impact it more on state pilgrim programs, inshallah.
On Wednesday, the 19th, a similar workshop was organized for the licensed tour operators.
Now, this is the Pilgrim Release Portal. You put the URL, it takes you directly to this particular place where you put your username and password. How do you get your username and password? Yes, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria through the Tour Operator Department has already created your companies and the system. So it is now left for you to submit your user per company, and it will be registered. When it's registered, the mail you use in creating your company, the system will send a mail to that, an email to that mail, telling you to activate that user. It is one security check.
During the training sessions, participants asked questions, made observations and comments, with several of their questions answered. They also bear their minds on the training generally.
The training is okay, and we really appreciate the effort of NAHCON IT member and some other people that participated. It's a wake-up program, and it's a lot of challenges have been discussed there, and we hope that they too will be evaluating our activities on the portal. So, and we are also appealing to them that when they are evaluating the activities, from time to time, before anybody will become familiar with the system, this training should be a continuous one.
The training gives us more enlightenment on what procedure to follow. So at least it will ease the previous crisis in the Hajj exercise. And we also pray that in the future, we have more smooth Hajj operation.
Actually, the Masar Nusuk is a good development. It has started about 3-4 years ago, but this year, there are some mistakes that have been there last year that they tried to refurbish, which is going to help the pilgrims as well, and the complaints too. So that's why NAHCON organized the training to update us on the changes that is on the track.
Sequel to the training on the Nusuk Masar platform for Hajj managers, it is expected that Hajj operations will henceforth be seamless and less cumbersome.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
MashaAllah, the program is As You Answer the Call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Don't go away.
Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam.
The circumambulation of the Holy Kaaba is a pillar of the major pilgrimage.
Arafah is the most significant pillar of Hajj. Whoever misses Arafah has missed Hajj. The most important benefit of Hajj is to be born again.
And Al-Hajj al-Mabrur, accepted Hajj, has no any reward except the paradise.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
Staying on the plains of Arafah on the 9th of Zulhijjah is a major pillar of the Hajj. Other pillars include being in the state of Ihram, Tawaf, which is circumambulating the Kaaba, and Sa'i, which is the walk between the two mountains of Safa and Marwa. How important is the Arafah in the Hajj? What acts of worship are pilgrims expected to engage while on the plains of Arafah?
Hajj is all about Arafah.
Tonight on Making the Hajj, Professor Mansoor Isa Yelwa answers these and other questions.
Arafah is the most important rite of all the rites of Hajj. The Prophet ﷺ, as you mentioned, said Al-Hajju Arafah. Hajj is all about Arafah, meaning that the most important backbone of Hajj is Arafah. Whoever misses Arafat has missed Hajj, and whoever gets Arafat has got the most important part of Hajj. Hajj itself is a pillar of Islam, and Arafah is a pillar of Hajj, which means that if somebody, a Muslim, a pilgrim, is able to get Arafah, even if he does not get all the other rights prior to that, he can repay them. But Arafat cannot be repaid. Whoever misses Arafah must have to come back for another Hajj opportunity.
The Islamic scholar further explains how the Prophet ﷺ describe the boundary of the plains of Arafah.
The Prophet ﷺ said, وَقَفْتُ هَاهُنَا وَجَمْعٌ كُلُّهَا مَوْقِفٌ. He said, I have stood here, but not that anywhere within the vicinity of Arafat or Jama is a place to stand. Therefore, there is no particular place where a pilgrim must stand. Anywhere a pilgrim can stand.
At sunrise on the 9th of Zulhijjah, pilgrims travel to the plains of Arafah and will remain there until sunset.
Even if it is within the shortest period of time that a pilgrim is able to set his foot on the ground of Arafat, then he has met Arafat. Therefore, there is no limit as to the length of time that a pilgrim must stay in Arafat. But the minimum requirement is that it must be at the time of the day or at the time of the night. But the most important is that one must have a portion of the night, however small that time is, staying in Arafat. And even if that person is not able to utter anything, the most important is arriving at Arafat within the time, before the dawn of the next day, that is the 10th day of Dhul Hajj.
While on the plains of Arafah, pilgrims combine and shorten Zuhur and Asr prayers to 2 rakat each, while Maghrib and Isha prayers will be offered when they reach the plains of Muzdalifah. What supplications are recommended for pilgrims during their stay on the Arafah?
There are 2 types of prayers in general: Du'a'u Mas'ala and Du'a'u Ibadah. That is prayer that is only meant to glorify Allah, and prayer that is meant to ask Allah for a benefit of this world or the world hereafter. Now, the Prophet ﷺ has enjoined us to pray both, and that is all collected in the meaning of Fi dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana. Give us the good in this life and give us the good in the life hereafter.
The Islamic scholar says pilgrims can also read the Holy Quran, calling on them to have Allah's consciousness in whatever they do during the Hajj.
Alhamdulillah. Now it's time to know the winner of last week's quiz and also the question for this week. Good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, what act of Hajj rites do pilgrims perform while passing through the green light area located in the valley of Safa and Marwa? The correct answer is, male pilgrims are enjoined to jog when passing through the green light signs. The winner is Sinan Al-Hassan from Plateau State. He provided the answer ahead of others. Sinan Al-Hassan will be contacted on how NAHCON will reach him with the prize he won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, what is expected of pilgrims after performing Sa'i? Again, what is expected of pilgrims after performing Sa'i? Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
Muhammad Mukhtar sent in the first message. It reads, I want to thank the National Assembly for making efforts to ensure further reduction in the 2025 Hajj Fair. May Allah reward you all. The second message came from GSM number 070-3229-1170. It says, Assalamu alaikum. I appreciate the efforts of NAHCON management and the entire staff of the Commission for doing a good job in the Hajj industry.
The message segments end this week's edition of the program. See you same time, same day next week with another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms. Thanks for watching. Ma'asalam.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا